Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be another one of those videos where there's no price charting or graphics up on the screen. It's just one of those videos where you can pop your headphones in, turn the TV on while you're doing some housework, or pop it on the Bluetooth speakers while you're driving in the car and just sit back and listen. I'm going to go over 3 questions that I probably get asked the absolute most, and we're going to explore them in a fair bit of depth. They're going to be pretty relevant to, I suppose, most people that are in the Pokemon investing space. Whether you're fresh or been in it a little while, I think they're pretty important questions to go over. Before we dive into them though, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It means a lot. And if you want to become a channel member, you can just do that from the home screen. You can just click join. And once you are signed up, you can shoot me any Pokemon investing related questions and I'll get back to you in a timely manner. Anyway, let's jump into the first one that I get asked all the time. And this is a really common one at the moment because times are hard. And the question is, my budget's pretty tight. How do I prioritize what I spend my money on? And this is a tough one because we all know, the cost of living's just insane at the moment. I saw something the other day. This is obviously in Australia, and I'm sure, most viewers are from America. I'm sure America is the same. I'm sure, viewers that tune in from Europe and other parts of the world, it's much the same. But the whole premise was that our parents' generation, when they were buying a house, generally speaking, the cost of their house was about 3 times what the average annual salary was. And now it's currently, like, house pricing is 8 times what the annual salary was. And the whole premise of this topic was just like, it's hard to be a 30-year-old at the moment. Grocery prices are through the roof. House prices, even if you are into the property market already, your mortgage repayments are just astronomical. And then obviously, the part where you're trying to raise a family and do stuff like that, and it just becomes super, super expensive. So I get it. Everyone knows the cost of living is sky high at the moment, but we can't just be mean to ourselves. We can't just go, oh, the cost of living's too high, so I'm not going to have fun anymore. Whether it's, going on holidays or doing the fun things in life that you enjoy, your hobbies, etc. And then the big one, when it comes to Pokemon card investing, if Pokemon cards, whether it's storing sealed, making a sealed collection, investing in it, opening cards, you can't be mean to yourself in that space either. It's something you've still got to have fun with and enjoy. Just because the cost of living sky high doesn't mean our lives should just stop and we should just sit at home and do nothing all day. We've got to still enjoy ourselves, don't we? So back to the question at hand. With all that in mind, how do we actually prioritize what we spend our money on? The other premise I will make before I actually dive into that is, again, I saw this on the Poke Investing Reddit forum. Actually, a member shot it through to me via email. And, it was just someone like, what items from my sealed collection should I sell to fund my dog's surgery? If you're at that stage, unfortunately, investing in Pokemon cards should be the last of your worries. I've said this a million times that, the whole side of Pokemon investing should be 5% of your portfolio. If you're super well off in your mid-30s and you've had, a cracker 18 years of work life and you've been super successful and you've built up $1 million portfolio, 5% is still only 50 grand. If you're half of that, 5% is 25 grand. If you've got $200,000 equity, then, 5% of that is obviously 10 grand. So work off that whole 5% of your budget. If you're scrimping and scraving, like using your last cents to buy Pokemon cards, it's probably not the best idea, is it? So that's what I just wanted to premise that before we get into it. But, budgeting, it's a real hard one because a lot of people will set aside a little budget each week, or a lot of people will go a payday and then go, oh, I haven't bought any Pokemon card products this week. What will I buy? I don't really know if that plan is the best way to go about it. The way I go about it personally is, first of all, what's the point of investing in something if you don't actually see a return out of it? What's the point of going, oh, well, hold on, I haven't spent any money this week on sealed Pokemon card products or Pokemon singles, so I better go buy some. There's no point in doing that. That's not really a strategy. Setting aside a certain amount per week and just spending it for the sake of spending it isn't a strategy. What a strategy is making sure that you're prioritizing investing in the correct sets and the correct products at the correct price. So if we just rehash that, correct set, correct product, correct price. If you do those 3 basics right, you're going to be pretty set. That would be my advice to answer that question. How do I prioritize? How do I budget when it comes to Pokemon card investing? Once more, correct set, correct product, correct price. What I mean by that, when we break it down, correct set, what does that mean? Well, what makes a good Pokemon card set? Okay, it has good chase cards inside it, and it has good depth inside it, and it's popular. It has demand. Then you go, what's the correct product? Well, there's certain products that, of course, are better than others. Maybe it's a 3-pack blister because it's got a Ripper promo inside it. The booster box is just the standard stock. That's what you should be going for. 9 times out of 10, that's my suggestion. The booster box generally outperforms most other sealed products. And then third, making sure you're getting it for the right price. So not just buying it for the sake of buying it, or not feeling that you missed out and then just buying it for the FOMO reason. Making sure you're trying to pick something up when it's on sale. So that is the trick when it comes to budgeting and how to prioritize where to put your funds. Don't just spend funds for the sake of spending funds. Correct set, correct product, correct time. Get those 3 things right and you're going to be pretty fine when it comes to Pokemon cards, particularly sealed investments in the long run. The second question that I get asked a lot is, what is the best investment for the rest of 2024? I'm new to the hobby. What do I spend my money on? What's the best investment? Where do I park my money? Should I go single? Should I go sealed? Let's break that question down a little bit and see if we can work out a bit of an answer. I've used some strategies on what the best investment is for a while. And one of the strategies I suppose you could use the word pumping, but maybe advocating is a better word. One of the strategies I was advocating for, as soon as Sword and Shield products, both old art singles, trainer gallery singles, and sealed product started to take that rise up, you knew there was demand and sentiment and popularity for it, that it would continue to go up. That's an investment strategy. I actually went over it a few videos ago, where you're catching the train as it's leaving the station. And that's one of the best investment strategies that I would suggest for the rest of 2024. Now, what I meant by that is, you might have bought, and again, I'm just plucking numbers out of the air and a set out of the air, but you might have bought Fusion Strike at $100 a box. And you might have sat on it, you might have even got it for 85 or 90, and you might have sat on it for 2 years before it started to move. But then all of a sudden it went to 105, then it went to 110, then it went to 115. And you go, hold on, the floor of the market's starting to drop away. The major retailers don't have any stock left. There's every chance it's going to sell out on the Pokemon Center soon. eBay listings are depleting. Like, there's less and less stores with, multiple box listings. We're running out of supply here. And that's the time to hop on. So if someone's new to the hobby, that's one strategy to use to work out what the best investment plan is for the rest of 2024. But in terms of the exact product and people going, what should I actually park my money in for the rest of 2024? That's a harder question, because you could go, well, we've got Scarlet and Violet sets, whether it's Paldea Evolved, Paradox Rift, and Temporal Forces in Australia here, you can pick them up for $155 Australian, which is, 100 or a touch under 100 US dollars, including postage. So, there are sites that have them on sale for those prices. So arguably, you can't go wrong with that. Even if you sit on it for 3 years before it starts moving up, you're probably not ever going to get a cheaper entry point price than that. Having said that, though, typically the reprint window is around September and October, so sort of leading into America's or the US's winter time. And if reprints, or holiday season I should say, if reprints sort of start to happen there, the potential increases we had on Scarlet and Violet sets could be flattened for a while, and we could end up with the same scenario we had with sets like Darkness Ablaze and Vivid Voltage. Vivid Voltage, when it first came out, was really, really, really popular, like hugely popular. The chase for the Rainbow Pikachu was massive. The Amazing Rares with the hollow foil pattern coming out of the borderline again, was really, really popular as well. And it was a nice, bright, colourful set. It was actually really popular, but it's just been reprinted and reprinted into the absolute ground. And as a result, it's only just starting to really, move up a little bit now. And it's been over 3 years since that set was released. So we could be stuck with, if we cop big reprints for Paldea Evolved, Paradox Rift, and Temporal Forces, we could be stuck in that sort of position again, which will hurt those products in the long term. To actually answer the question exactly though, like where to park your money or where am I parking my money? Yeah, like I'm still picking up, go for the go for the sets that have proven popular so far in Scarlet and Violet. For me, I wouldn't park my money into Obsidian Flames. Like, I've got one booster box of Obsidian Flames. I could be wrong. Like, I could get it completely wrong. It might not get reprinted at all, and then all of a sudden, prices will go through the roof. But I've got more booster boxes of Paldea Evolved. I've got more booster boxes of Temporal Forces. We're finally getting that tiered chase back in Temporal Forces, which is really going to add some weight to those sets. Like those special illustration rares like, Raging Bolt EX, for argument's sake. If you look at the TCG player stats where it's had over 5,000 packs opened, and they only pulled something like 6 or 7 of the Raging Bolt EXs, it sort of suggests that you're up around 1 in 800 packs to pull some of those latter or some of the newer special illustration rares, which is around the same sort of pull rates as things like your Giratina V, your Charizard V from Brilliant Stars. So it's like alt art sort of pull rates. And the other thing that I would keep in mind, best investments for the rest of 2024, I would suggest Crown Zenith is a really, really good pickup. Elite trainer boxes are still at a low price. We're starting to see singles rise, which I spoke about a month ago and said grab them, particularly the Mewtwo V-Star. And, that's something that I think, as supply dwindles on the sealed product and the singles rising, it's really going to start pushing up. There's going to be some upward pressure on things like Crown Zenith, Pokemon Center Elite trainer boxes and Elite trainer boxes, and even things like the smaller products like the 3-pack blisters. Or the big one for me, I really like that Zacian or Zamazenta pin collection where you get 11 booster packs inside there. Products like that I think will start pushing up. They're going to be good pickups. A couple of other suggestions, things like Pokemon 151. Like you're never going to go wrong with that set. If your hold time frame is greater than 3 years, that's an absolute belter of a set to pick up. It is the best investment we've seen or the best set we've seen in a long, long time. It brought so many new people back into the hobby. It's just a no-brainer. Elite trainer boxes of 151, buy them. Even if it does get reprinted and, it drops the price by $10 or $15 a box. Hedge your bets a little bit. Who knows? Like if it doesn't get reprinted, they're going to go skyrocketing. If it does get reprinted in September, October, yeah, it might flatline it for a year or so, but then it'll be straight back up to the price that you were grabbing them at and more. So I think they're really, really good investments for the rest of 2024. Final question. A lot of people ask this. Where do you buy your booster boxes from or sealed product from? And, what is the best way to buy them cheap to maximize your investment returns? Because essentially, the cheaper you buy it, the more it's going to go up or the more gains you can see. And this happens a lot. Like to coincide with this question, another question I got asked a lot is, have I missed the train on Fusion Strike? Have I missed the train on Chilling Reign? And the big one, have I missed the train on Evolving Skies? And here's where you see it from, right? Like if you buy a booster box or if you bought a booster box of Evolving Skies, I'm going to use Australian dollars just for the time being, at 200 Australian dollars. Maybe you got it at first wave, or maybe if you got it at that small second wave where it dropped them back to $200. And then they're up to pretty much bang on 1,000 Australian dollars now. So if we work off that in round figures, 200 Australian dollars to 1,000 Australian dollars, it's 5x'd its money. To achieve the same sort of gains again, so 5xing your money, you've got to turn the booster box from a $1,000 booster box to a $5,000 booster box to 5x your position. So the cheaper you can buy something in at entry point price, obviously the more it's going to maximize your potential gains. So I've said this a lot of people ask me, I don't have a particular buyer I buy off. You've really just got to be diligent and use your due diligence with this strategy. It's just scour eBay, scour websites. There's going to be times when things are overstocked, when the economy's hard like it is at the moment. Stores need to move inventory. They need to turn over money. That's what it's all about for the big box retailers. Gameology here in Australia has Scarlet and Violet booster boxes for $152. If you look hard enough on a few different websites too, you can pick up coupon codes to get them $5 cheaper, which makes them $147 a booster box. They're not going to get any $147. They're not going to get any cheaper than that. If you live in the US, I know places like Sneaker Dunk are selling Japanese 151 boxes super, super cheap. We don't get them in Australia, but you guys can pick up TikTok coupons and vouchers to buy sealed products super, super cheap. So you've really just got to do your due diligence and buy whatever you can, like buy at a deal. If you can buy at a deal, that's fantastic. But make sure still it's the correct set, the correct product. And this is the part I'm talking about now, which is buying it at the correct price, which is scouring those deals. And the funny thing is, don't listen to anyone or everyone, because you'll see it everywhere. You know, whether you hop on Google, whether you're on Facebook forums, whether you're on the Pokey Investing Reddit forum, whether you're on someone's YouTube comments, someone's always going to have bought it cheaper than you. I've got a box of 151 for $32 US. Okay, I got a box of Obsidian Flames for $71 US. Like, everyone's going to have some story how they're better than you, and like, sort of zone out from that and find the best possible deal you can get. There are, you know, Twitter forums where, you know, there's like a Pokemon deals one where when a deal drops, people will post it up and go, hey, look how cheap this is. So the point of this part is do your due diligence. There's not one particular place that I constantly buy sealed product from. If something's on special, like I picked up the Crown Zenith 11-pack Zacian Zamazenta pin collections from Kmart of all places. That's like your Walmart in the US. They were down to $36 or something? Maybe a bit more, maybe $38. And you're getting 11 booster packs. So in Australian dollars, it worked out to be pretty much $3 a booster packs, which is about $2.10 a booster pack in the US, plus the promo, of course, plus the little figurine inside there. So if a deal comes up, a Black Friday sale, a Christmas sale, a holiday sale, a we're overstocked, so we need to clear product sale, like just jump on them. There's no right way or wrong way to buy sealed product. Anyway, I don't know how long I've been talking for, but I think I've gone into these 3 questions under a bit of depth. I'm Michael. This is Poke Odds. Thanks for tuning in. I'll catch everyone next time.